Oh man, it's been a minute, huh? I've been gone for a minute. I went on a trip to my hometown of Brasilia, where I was born, and I saw some family members I hadn't seen in a couple years, and so I was gone for about 10 days. Not streaming, not recording anything, so took a little bit of a hiatus to kind of clear my head a little bit, and it was good to get a little bit of a break, man, honestly. So I missed completely the Billie Eilish album and the Isaiah Rashad album and the King's Disease 2 album, which kind of came out of nowhere. Thankfully, I didn't miss Donda because Kanye waited for me to get back. Yeah, he announced it twice and didn't drop it because he waited for me to return, and I'm really thankful for that. So we're gonna listen to this new Billie Eilish, man. I'll be honest. I have high hopes for it. Billie Eilish to be so young and already be considered a legend is just it speaks for itself. I mean, the amount of awards that she's won, the quality of her music in general, the songwriting, her performances, her giant fan base, her energy as a performer on stage, her charisma, the way that she rethinks herself with every album. I mean, there's really just um, no beating around the bush. She is legendary, and so at her age, particularly, is extremely impressive. And that goes for Finneas as well, who kind of designed, along with her, of course, but he kind of is responsible for actually executing her sound, really, right, production wise. And he's just incredible at his age as well to be, doing the things that he does. I mean, he's definitely a huge inspiration for me as a producer. His creativity, his willingness to do whatever he wants, honestly, is just very inspiring. So I'm expecting very high quality music coming from this album, and I know she's going to deliver. So honestly, I'm just going to jump right into it and enjoy it for what it is. And I hope you do so as well. I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for clicking on it and taking the time out of your day to even be here. So if you end up enjoying the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, especially to all my patrons and my members. I really appreciate you guys. And let's jump into it, shall we? 16 songs, about an hour long. I have heard some of these singles. I'll let you guys know which songs I've heard when we get to them. Track one is Getting Older. Let's go. I'm grateful for, but it's different when a stranger's changed. Last week I realized I craved I once enjoyed. It's so easy. I love her harmonies in the background here, man. And these little synths are so playful. They sound so youthful and jovial, right? Those little synths in the background. The song's titled Getting Older, and she's talking about these things that have happened to her with time. And it's like these playful little synths are that last bit of childhood that she's sort of holding on to. You know what I mean? It just sounds kind of like wondrous and childlike. Beautiful singing performance. I love the lyrics to it so far, and nothing really major production wise. It's very straightforward so far, but the harmonies in the background are very subtle and beautiful. So. 'Cause to be honest, I just wish that what I promised would depend. What a way to start this album off, man. This is such a pretty song. It's such a beautifully written song. It sounds very pretty. I love the lyricism. I love the way that she makes her experiences so relatable, right? There's so many things here that I'm sure, I mean, I know I relate to, and I know that other people are going to relate to as well. These things that are kind of universal experiences that sort of happen to almost everyone as they get older. But she was able to put that into words and put it into song, and I think that, it was really well written. Uh, Production wise, like I said, it's nothing too major. I do like the happy sounding synths and the mellow, you know, drums that come in towards the end of the track just to keep time. Nothing really major going on though. But her performance is great. I love the way her voice sounds, and I do think that it is a very well written song. So it's kind of what saved this track for me from getting not repetitive, but sort of boring because it is a very mellow song. Her songwriting saved it. It's definitely gonna make it onto my chill playlist for sure. That snare is crazy. Oh my god. Yo, the choppy synths, man. dun dun da da dun da da dun dun da da dun da da dun dun da da dun. That's so cool, man. Also, I didn't change my number. I just changed who I replied to. That's an Instagram caption. I love how crisp this snare is, man. It's gonna make me break my neck soon. Look how fat that bass is. Her voice is so far forward in this track, man. That really subtle little womp 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 womp. Fire. Damn, man, this is groovy. Love the little drum fill there, too. Her harmonies are so soft. They're always so good. Nice little bit of pettiness to her vocals there. And your best friend, too. That was great. Ooh. This is what I'm talking about, Finneas. Not being afraid to do crazy shit, man. I hear Finneas humming there. That's fire. Wow. These synths just get thicker and thicker. Just the way I like them. That's an awesome song. Yeah, that one is definitely going onto my Patreon playlist and my heavy rotation playlist as well. That is awesome. For those of you that don't know, my heavy rotation playlist is just the playlist of the 50 songs that I have in heavy rotation at any given moment. And so every time I add a new one into it, I get rid of the oldest one in the playlist so that I always have just the 50 most played songs in there. And that's in there. That's in there for sure. Love everything about that. Billie Bossa Nova. Now listen, I live in Brazil. I live in Rio de Janeiro. I am Brazilian. I speak English this way because I grew up in the US and I lived there for 15 years. But I have been living here for the last 4 years, more or less. And I'm learning to, embrace my actual heritage and culture. And so if this isn't an actual Bossa Nova track, I'm going to be very disappointed. Love when it comes without a warning. Your bearings. Some information's not for sharing. I see why they titled it Billie Bossa Nova. I think it's just more so because of the feeling of the guitars. I don't think it's an actual Bossa Nova. It would have been fire though. I would love to hear Billie sing some actual... I'm gonna stop saying Bossa Nova. It's Bossa Nova. So I really wish that she would sing some actual Bossa Nova, but I like the feeling to this one. I'm gonna restart it. The soft drums with the sweet little percussion is very interesting. Those sweeping synths are cool in the background, man. The way she's performing this song right now reminds me a lot of Sabrina Claudio, and the way that she also performs her songs in a very soft manner, and the way that she's pronouncing her T's, and just the way that she's got a sultrier kind of a sound for this track is definitely that same sort of a feeling. I like it. I like this one. It's not bad. It might have to grow on me a little bit, but track 4 is My Future. I've heard this one. There's actually reaction to it on my channel. I really love this song. I think it's awesome. We're gonna skip on to track 5, Oxytocin. Oh my god, Finneas's bass programming is always insane. It's always just so fat. The sub on this bass is insane. I don't know about this part right here. Yeah, this one's got kind of like a underground club sort of a vibe to it. I'm not a huge fan of it. That sort of sound, the really heavy electronic sort of, sound, but I am a fan of the really heavy bass, the really fat low end. I think that sounds awesome, and I do like some of the higher pitched synths, the really choppy ones. I think that those could have been incorporated in a couple of different ways though, and not just... I feel like they were a little underplayed. They were a little too simple for my taste. If they were a little bit more blown out, if we had some brighter sounding synths in there, if this wasn't so basic sounding, I think I'd enjoy it a little bit more. I do like the contrast between the really heavy low end and her soft, higher pitched voice. I think that's cool. They always find a way to make her soft vocals work with the really gritty sound, so I like that about it. But this one just is also just okay in my opinion. Goldwing, track 6. That's beautiful. Saucy. That note right there is saucy. Wow. She is in lockstep with herself, man, in these arrangements. Sampling herself there. Oh man, this is gonna be fire. I can tell. This is gonna be fire. The way they pan the samples is really cool too. This is what I'm talking about. In contrast to that last track, this one has the fat low end, has a similar sort of electronic vibe to it, but the way that they used her vocals instead of synths, and they have them panned in interesting ways and arranged in interesting ways, is that more complex, higher end of the song that I was looking for on that last track. So I think that this one is already sounding much better. Hey, following the bass there is cool, dude. The perk sounds and the drum sounds are so creative. Yeah, that one's on my playlist as well. Not heavy rotation, but that one's on my Patreon playlist. 100%. That one is super well executed. The beginning is absolutely beautiful. The way that she did those arrangements and sang all the different parts, and she was just in lockstep with herself. That's very tough to do, and she executed that perfectly. Her voice just sounds so heavenly, and then to bring in the sample of her voice and bring in the heavier sounding drums and the bass, and then, you know, she rode this track beautifully, you know, and then the parts where she follows the bass line with her voice is really cool. The way her, you know, the way that she flowed on this track is really cool. Her lyrics, the way that she used rhythm, I mean, this whole track is just awesome. I mean, yeah, there's just nothing really bad to say about it, I think. I love Goldwing. Lost Cause is track 7. I believe this was also a single, but I avoided the singles to this album like the plague, dude. I really did. I tried. So I haven't heard this one. Wow, her vocals are much louder than they have been so far. And very far forward as well. Sounds like she's right inside my head. You ain't nothing but a lost cause, and this ain't nothing like it once was. Love this already. This is already on my playlist. There's like a bluesy feel to this one. She's going off on this dude, man. Saying another one of him is easy to find is crazy. A little halftime feel here. So sweet, man. The pads, so ethereal. Yeah, use that reverb, Billy. That's one of my favorites, man. That's a fantastic song. Love the bluesy feeling to it. I love all the different pads that they have going on the higher end that are so atmospheric and ethereal. I love the way that she incorporates the reverb into her vocals to also give her voice that ethereal sound every now and then. But the way that the beat and the actual chorus drops is just so satisfying. It's really catchy. It just oozes, you know, swagger and confidence and charisma. I love the way that they mixed her voice on this one. Like I said, it sounds much more powerful because it's louder and it's compressed and it's very far forward in the track. It's very prominent. So that spotlight is just boom, you know, it's huge right on her performance, and she kills it. So just really awesome. Haley's Comet, track 8. Dreams I seem to be more honest. Only fools rush in. It's got a I can't help falling in love with you vibe to it, honestly. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Yeah, they definitely didn't use all of those same chords. They do have some very jazzy sounding, pretty sounding inversions in there, but you could definitely sing that same melody over this one. I don't know if that was an inspiration for the song or anything, but maybe it's just sometimes these things happen. But that's what I'm hearing as I listen to this. Love the little beat drop too. Damn. Such a romantic feeling, you know? Man, I love this song. That's on my chill playlist as well. This is such a pretty track, dude. A little bit of like a 3/4 waltz sort of a vibe here. Very classy, very romantic. I love it. Such a great song. Definitely a highlight on this project. You know, it's soft and mellow, done so well that there was no risk of this sounding boring in my opinion. Like this is just such a romantic, warm vibe. You know what I mean? The lyricism is so honest, and things like midnight for me is 3 a.m. for you, highlighting some of the difficulties that she's facing in this relationship with like a time difference and a long distance, and saying that you know, in my dreams I tend to be more honest, and you've been in quite a few, and Haley's Comet comes around more often than I do, and you're all it takes for me to break a promise. Like these things, she's just being so vulnerable and so honest. They're just so endearing. You know what I mean? So the lyricism is just awesome, and yeah, the production as well. Even towards the end, when we go into that 3/4 kind of like a waltz, again, just a very classy, romantic feeling. So I love that. Not My Responsibility, track 9. This kind of sounds like something off of Because the Internet, man.
You have opinions about my body. So while I feel your stares, your disapproval.
It's refreshing that she's come to this conclusion, man. Yeah, I mean that last track, everybody needs to listen to that, you know, at least 3 times, and make sure that, you know, they're not one of those people who are casting those presuppositions and those judgments onto other people. I mean, that goes for me as well. You know, we're all guilty of it every now and then. It's tough to face yourself in the mirror sometimes, and know that you've been a hypocrite every now and then, and know that you've judged people before, though you hate judgmental people. It's tough, you know, but we've all got to come face to face with our own hypocrisy at some point, and acknowledge it and get over it, and just try and be better. So let's all just take a few listens to that track, because she was preaching, man. That last track is gospel. Track 10's Overheated. It's not wowing me or anything like that, but it's also not bad at all.
Did you really think this is the right thing? Can't be defeated.
Yeah, that track was good. I wouldn't say it's a great song. It wasn't really grabbing my attention. It was okay. There's nothing really bad about it. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's nothing inherently wrong with it or anything like that. I just didn't really enjoy it all that much. It's just not really for me, I guess. Everybody Dies.
Sometimes we try.
That's haunting.
They'll find another way.
Is my bulb going bad here? My light bulb might be going bad. It's a few years old at this point. So my bulb actually just died. Let me just grab another one real quick. I'll swap it out. Okay, so problem solved, and let's continue. That's an awesome song too. Track 12 is Your Power. I think I might have heard it though. Oh, I have, yeah. Yeah, I heard Your Power by proxy. My wife actually listened to it when it dropped, and I was around and I heard it. So yeah, Everybody Dies is a beautiful, beautiful track. It's another one of the softer songs. It's definitely, you know, on the more laid back side of things, and it's just beautifully done. Her vocals are so soft and haunting, and I really like that atmosphere to it. Your Power is beautifully written. It's a very important message. It's, again, a beautiful performance. Love the production, love the guitars. You know, I love everything about Your Power. I think Your Power is a masterpiece in its own right. You know, I'm giving you sort of a mini review because I have heard it, but there's no video for it on the channel. But it's a fantastic track. It's definitely a standout song. Track 13 is NDA. I like the mandolin, but it feels a little empty, the song. Just feels a little scarce. Cool. Yeah, this sounds better. Love the auto-tune, man. She sounds so great. Wasn't the auto-tune there a big controversy? It sounds awesome. I don't know why there would be, but mentioning a lot of the other songs in there. This part of the track just feels a little bit empty. That's really the only criticism I have. Otherwise, it's awesome. It's a great song. Love the use of autotune as well. Like it's such a unique, not unique. It's such a change of pace from the way that everything else has sounded so far in this album, right? It's like something that we haven't really heard from her before. It's almost like, you know, Billie Eilish meets Yeezus, and I personally love it. That one part with the mandolin, you know, just feels a little bit empty. Feels like that part could be a little bit fleshed out, but beyond that, yeah, it's a nice track, dude. Therefore I Am. This is also a single that I think I've heard the chorus to it a billion times, but I have never heard the song, just the chorus. This is another one of those tracks that just oozes confidence. These harmonies are very tough. Very well done. I love it when I can hear Finneas, man. Delayed drop there is really cool. Nice little claps. Yeah, this track is tough, dude. I love the confidence, the charisma, the swagger, the groove to the actual beat itself. Her performance is just so sarcastic at some points and so carefree, and you really believe her when she says that she just couldn't care less about certain things. So everything about that track works, man. That's a standout song. I'm glad that she put it out as a single because it's definitely worthy of it. It's on my playlist, my Patreon playlist. And that's an awesome song. There's really no other way to put it. I mean, the way that she performed the first verse in contrast to the second verse. I mean, there's so many little different switch ups and just things to keep the track sounding and feeling fresh. So that's awesome. You can hear Finneas doing background vocals, and the subtle little sound effects that he adds into these tracks is just always such a pleasure to catch. So great song. Track 15 is Happier Than Ever. I love the filters they put over her voice during this album at different points. It gives it a really warm feeling. Come on. It sounds like she's singing it, staring at a sunset, you know what I mean? Oh, but the track's building. I love this rock star Billie, man. Oh! God damn. All the other playlists. Every one of them. Love this. Oh wow, I was not expecting that. She definitely stepped up her vocal performance for this track, dude. I don't think we've ever heard her belt or scream this way. I mean, how many layers did she have to do to even get her voice to sound that, you know, powerful on this song? Because she's always had the soft voice. So I think she's even said in an interview that she's just not really capable of belting these songs. So the fact that she, you know, stepped it up to that level where she was able to here is you got to commend her for it, man. It sounds awesome. I'm in love with this right now. It's loud, it's messy, it's chaotic. Yeah, it's awesome. It just gets louder and louder and more distorted, and I love it, dude. It's definitely got that sensation of like breaking free, you know what I mean? She's finally realized that all of these different opinions about her aren't really her responsibility, and like she says so herself, she's shedding this layer. She's, you know, finally wearing whatever she wants to, and she's doing the photo shoots that she wants to, and she's going to look however she wants to and make the music that she wants to, and not really care anymore about all of the pressure and all of the opinions and all of the speculation and all of that. And this is kind of the sonic representation of that. You know, her screaming in the background as everything just gets more and more messy and more free and just loud, and it's just kind of this huge moment where she's finally, I don't know, breaking free, you know what I mean? So she's soaring, you know what I mean? She's flying, and there, I don't think there really is a star in heaven that she can't reach, because she's breaking free. So now's the time. Um, love the way that they were able to represent that, you know, musically. So that's an awesome song. I wasn't expecting that turn, that transition at all. I have to remove it from my chill playlist now, but or I could just listen to the first half and skip it. But I added it to, you know, all my other ones, heavy rotation, Patreon playlist, all of that. It definitely deserves a spot on there. Love that song. Last track, Male Fantasy.
Her feet, I hate the way she looks at me. 'Cause I loved you then and I love you now. And we're just pretending to.
I don't think the camera would pick up the goosebumps on my arm right now, but that is just gorgeous.
And it's all I think about when I'm behind the wheel.
I'm so hypnotized.
I loved you then and I love you now.
Sorry about the neighbor's dog barking in the background, but man, that is such a beautifully written song. A lot of these songs off of this album aren't anthemic in their production, right? These aren't songs that are going to get an entire stadium jumping, you know, and things like that. This isn't like Graduation by Kanye West, but thematically and lyrically, a lot of these songs are going to become anthems to a lot of different people, because lyrically this album is so relatable at so many different points that it's going to describe chapters in everybody's life at some point. So I can absolutely see millions of people worldwide resonating, oh no, this album resonating with millions of people worldwide because of how relatable it is and how she was able to turn her story into something, you know, and take these feelings and these thoughts and these emotions that we've all felt before and put them down on paper in a way that it is just so poignant. You know what I mean? It's gonna be such a highlight in so many people's life, finally having their feelings put to paper this way. You know what I mean? It's going to absolutely be anthemic to a lot of different people, lyrically, emotionally. You know, I think it's such a brilliantly written album. Her storytelling and her songwriting was always great, her and Finneas, but here I do think that they took a step up. I think that they managed to capture the feeling of growing up, for example, on that first track, in a way that I don't know that I've ever had someone put it to paper that way before. So there's just really specific moments on this album where it sounds like she's talking about me, you know, my life. And everybody's going to feel that way during different portions of this album, which is why I think so many people are going to come to it and relate to it at so many different points and different moments in their life. I think that it is sonically not always great. I don't think that every single song is for me. I don't think that every single song sounds awesome, right, production wise. But there are, most of these songs, you know, are very consistent. They sound very well mixed. They sound extremely well produced. A lot of them made it onto my playlist. I want to keep them in heavy rotation. The production, you know, is always just great. I mean, even the ones that aren't for me, like I always say, they're not inherently bad or anything like that. They're just not songs that I myself would come back to. You know, the vibe just isn't for me or whatever. But the production is always good. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with them. They're not bad. They're just not the songs that I like to listen to repeatedly. So production wise, lyrically, atmospherically, thematically, symbolically, like everything about this is just awesome. And I love that, you know, she's at this point in her life where she's finally freeing herself of all the stigma, all the opinions, all the pressure, all the weight, because it's going to be better for her. She mentioned that she's going back to therapy in one of the songs, and that's also going to be better for her. And I mean, it's evident in her music, because this album has just been such a blast to listen to. So it's just been really, really fun. It's been awesome. Yeah, I heavily enjoyed it. And I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that I was able to transmit to you guys my enjoyment of this album. Let me know if you agree or disagree with some of my takes in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe and support the channel any way you see fit. If you want to share it with somebody, all you Billie Eilish fans, I know that there's like trillions of you. So, you know, share this with someone else that you think might enjoy it. And anybody who wants to support the channel on the Patreon or whatever, all the links to those are in the description. So appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all later. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.